part 2 of our envelope, our junk mail envelope, junk journal. I am sure that you have lots of junk mail envelopes. They come in all shapes and sizes and colors. So go grab some. You need but between 6 and 8. I am doing this specific little junk journal out of envelopes with the students I work with at YFC. And I told them when they're looking at the envelopes that they're going to choose different sizes, not only of the actual envelopes, but you also want to look at the windows. And some things to keep in mind would be get a mixture of envelopes that have, the 2 windows, a couple of different 1 windows, but they're different sizes as well. So pick, some big ones, some ones that have 2 windows. I would avoid an envelope that has a window that goes all the way across. Now you could use it. It's going to be folded, but I just avoid these type for this project. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm having trouble finding large window envelopes. If you have them, keep them. And then also what I was sharing with the students is inside the envelope, it has different patterns, different colors. And we can use those colors by turning our windows inside out. It's okay if it's a little bit tattered. We're going to fix all of that. Pick 6 to 8 envelopes. So I'm going to put those aside and bring in the ones that I have chosen already. Now this is what I mean by turning the envelope inside out if it has a really cool pattern or color. Let me grab this nice big one, and we're just gonna open it up. It's okay if things are ripped and torn and tattered. We're making a junk journal. You could cut that nice. I'm not. So you got to open up the whole envelope, and then you just fold it back the other way. And then we glue it back together. Take as much of this off as I can so it doesn't show through the window. But that's okay if it does, because we're just going to cover things up. So there, and you would glue down your sides, and if you have the top part, you can glue that back down as well. And there we go. We have the pattern on the outside. The next thing we're going to do is we want to take these envelopes and we want to fold them, but they're not all going to be folded in half. You're going to take your envelope and fold it close to the window, but leave a little bit of space there. So that one is folded. And then again, you're just eyeballing it. If you like things to be all even and symmetric and all lined up, then you can leave the same amount on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just see what that looks like when we put them in here. So there we go. That's gonna look very nice. Art glitter glue. I love this glue. I'm just going to go through the envelopes and I'm going to glue down anything that I need to be glued down. This one got sliced nice. So that one's all right. These ones actually were opened quite nicely. We don't want all of our envelopes to be opened on the side or on the top. We want to mix, because we're going to put journal cards and tags, and so we want openings at the top and the side. So this one is opened at the side. A little bit of a glue needed here to keep that glued down. I want it to be cut on the side. This is where it will be sewed in, so just be mindful of that. But I like to have the one envelope with the same cuts. Now I saw this video done on Tati Treasure and Izzy, I think. Okay, so there's opened up the two sides there. So that one is done. This one was nicely open on the top. So I've got one on the top, one on the side. This one opened up on the top. Okay, can do that. Although I might want to turn this one inside out, maybe. Yep. And then I'm going to actually take this part off where it gets licked and stuck down. Take that off. Yeah. And then open this. Open that back up. That's so cool. And then like that. There we go. So that's top. We got two tops. Putting them on this just over here. We need side. This one's open up at the side. Yep, like it. So I gotta open up that side. And I'm gonna just cut this down a little bit because it's a little tattered. There we go. Now this has this has circles. So I'm just cutting the top because I want it to turn inside out. And this is glued down pretty good. And it was just easier to do that. But again, I think I'm going to take this part off. And look at that beautiful curve. Take it. There we go. And then I'm just going to... Oh, this is a side. Whoops. This is a side. We don't want to... There we go. So this one will have the sides. Glue that down. And then this one is a top. So let's just make sure anything that's sticking up, I'm just going to glue down. And that's a top. So we gather up our envelopes. And that one's good. Now, if it was really tatty or opened at a place where we didn't want to open, or we wanted to change the opening, so for example, I've got this one here, but I want it opened on the sides, then we just take some washi tape. Any washi tape will do. I'm just gonna glue that shut on that end and glue it on this end. But I don't want it to open at the top, so I'm just going to close the opening at the top. I'm just putting a little glue there for the washi tape. You want your washi tape wide enough that can go over to both sides. Okay. And again, I'm just going to put some glue on the washi tape. So that's one way to seal up an opening, close an opening that we didn't want because we wanted it on the side. Let's trim that. And then just open that up on the side. Or you could use washi tape wherever you wanted it. If you like washi tape and you have lots of washi tape, I don't, but you could washi tape up all your envelopes for a decorative piece. So they're all going different ways. We got them all glued and we got them all washi taped. So now we're going to just double check to make sure that they're going the way we want them to. So that's opened at the top. So I'm just putting them together into a booklet. So it goes to the side. Just, oh, there's a little one that needs to be just glued down. As you can see, I've got washi tape on several of them. That one's up there. And I've turned several of them inside out. That one's going there. Okay, so my envelopes are ready. So I'm going to just take that, put it aside. And the next step is to get a cereal box. They work really well. And if you don't have a cereal box, you want a heavier card board. Cereal boxes, cracker boxes, ice cream sandwich boxes, whatever you have. Let's open that up. And you want to open it up. Get those envelopes. I'm going to use this fold right here because it's all ready for me. So that's where I want to make my marks. And I'm going to mark it so that wherever the widest envelope lays, I'm just bringing it a little bit past that, so there's a little bit of a border, a little bit here, because I'm going to cut on this folded line. And then whatever your tallest one is, you want a marking just above the tallest one, just leaving a border around it basically. And then we cut that out. So I'm going to be doing this. Do you see what I did? I cut it the wrong spot. I cut it the wrong spot. Oh my goodness. I was so excited to tell you that you want a little border at the bottom, at the top, and at the side. Don't cut on that fold. I did it again. Like seriously, what is going on? This is my last ice cream box. So I cannot cut it wrong again. We want it to be able to come that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut all these pieces where the cardboard is folded. We're going to use these pieces, so don't get rid of them yet. And it's okay if there's a fold here, it's gonna disappear. You won't even know it's there. But we have what we need on this side, right? So that's gonna sit there. We fold this over and cut. Now you do this however you do your measuring, cutting, all that stuff. Oh, sometimes it takes me a little longer. Where are the marks for the top? There they are. So again, we're just gonna, I'm just eyeballing it. At this point, it doesn't have to be perfect yet. We just need the basic cover. Let's see if I can now straighten it up a little bit. See if this chomper will do it. Ooh, it did. And how's this? Not bad. Not bad at all. It moved a little bit there. So if you like your straight lines, I'd say that's pretty good. And so this is the base for our cover. The next step that we do, or that I'm going to do, and that I'm doing with the students that I work with, is we're going to collage the front, the back, and the inside. Now you make your cover any way you want. You can use material, you could paint it, you could, whatever you want to make your cover. I'm just going to collage mine and take my scraps that I have and just start gluing them any old which way. And I told the students that the basket that has the scraps in, the bigger the scraps, the more it covers and less time it takes. But if you're using itty bitty scraps, that might take you a little bit longer. And collage they did, and it was interesting to watch them collage their surface, their cover, because some of them just took the scraps and went any which way, and then some were, everything had to be going the same way. So you do your collaging however you would like, and in the end you will have a cover that will look like this. And like this. And this is the base. From here, we can do all kinds of things. Those envelopes that we had to the side, bring them back. Make sure they're going every which way you want them to go. And I'm going to get a piece of paper that is the same height as my cover. Doesn't have to be too wide, and I'm going to fold this in half. Ooh, white on white is not good though. I'm just going to fold this piece of paper. This is just going to be a scrap piece of paper. And I want to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Not a 3, but a 5, because the envelopes are different heights, different sizes, and I want to make sure I grab them as I stitch it in to make sure they're secured. All right, now we're going to fold this in half. So fold that in half, and then you will see where they intersected. And that's going to be where the first hole goes. And then we can fold that again. And open it up. For those of you who like your holes the same, width apart, take the end and then fold that back or front, whichever way you're folding. So now all your dots are equal distance, and now you pick your 5 dots. So it could be, always have the middle one, because you know that you'll grab all of the envelopes in the middle. I'm going to do, there's my 3, and I'm going to do my 5. So there's going to be a little bit of a gap here and here. Or you can just do them really close together. It really is totally up to you. This is just a template because you're going to use this to make holes. So I'm going to grab my cover that's all dry and my pokey tool, my wax thread, and somewhere in here is a needle. So the girls got to sew in their signature, which is the envelopes. And so I'm going to get my thread ready to go, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, and a bit. It's better to have extra than not enough. Thread the needle. And you don't have to use wax thread. You can use, the embroidery floss, string, whatever you have. I like the wax thread. I find that the embroidery threads, they loosen up a little bit after a while, and I just don't like that. I'm going to get my envelopes, and I'm going to get them as the first one centered. Then I'm just going to make sure that they're where I want them to be, and I'm staggering them. So this one is down here. I'm going to move this one up to be up there, I think. Yep. Okay. And I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. Open up my... Get my little template. Now, you definitely don't need to use a template. It just makes it a little bit easier if this is the 5 stitches new. So I put that there, and I'm going to use these ones right here. Yep, I think that looks good. Should be able to grab them all. Yeah. Okay, and then you just poke. And I like to push the awl or your pokey tool through pretty good to create a big hole. And then you do it again. It's also good to have either books or some extra cardboard. Especially if you haven't done this before. Now, one of my students, when she was doing this, she opened up everything. So there, I got my 5 holes. I'm gonna just move that, and there you got 5 holes there. So she had laid this flat and was poking her holes while it was flat. The problem with that is the holes don't come right in the seam, spine, whatever you want to call it. Don't worry if things are cracking. We will be fixing all of that. And so she had a really hard time laying it flat, because as soon as you lay it flat and then you close it up, the holes move. And I don't have to let go of this because I already did this before I started my holes. So for the 5 pamphlet stitch, if you haven't done it before or you need a reminder, it took me a while to figure this out, but I got it now. So we're going to go down the center, and I'm going to leave a nice tail, and I'm going to push it or hold it down to the side. Then I'm going to find that hole in the spine, and if nothing's moved, it should just come right up. The other, I guess you could call it a tip, is making sure when you're going in the holes that you hold the needle straight up and down, because even if it's bent a little bit, your envelopes have to, or any paper that you're using for signature, starts to wiggle. And so if you go straight up and down, it should, if we haven't jiggled the papers too much, envelopes should just come very easily. So I've gone down the center, then I went up there, and then I went back down, and now I'm going to find that hole. Now what I want to do is I need to go back into this hole without splitting the thread, and nothing moved, so it came up really easy, and I pull that through. Okay, now I'm going to just swap the thread there. I'm going to skip the middle, but I'm going to go down the next one. And I tell the girls, this takes practice, so you don't need to be in a rush. So I pull that up, and now I'm going to go down in this hole. It's kind of like just going up and down. Just make sure I don't split it. Oh, I split it. So just kind of pull that a little bit there. And now I'm going to go up into that center one again, making sure I don't split it and that it's going straight. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that, but I was going in on an angle, and so the needle went in between the envelopes. I need to make sure I'm going straight up and down, because you can feel it if it's not catching everything. Oh, the last hole is right. I jiggled it a little bit. Just be patient. Oh, this one is gonna cause me some trouble. Where is it not going through? Whoop, there it is. Okay, so I'm coming up, but I need my needle so the thread is on either side. So just pull it up and then because you see that it's both on the same side, and we need it to be the thread on one on the left and one on the right of that thread. And then we're going to pull it snug. Okay, so there, that needs to be tightened up a little bit. So then you just tighten it all up. Okay, so that looks good. So now I'm going to knot it. Get rid of that needle. And now I'm going to do a double knot. And I'm just going to leave a little bit there. And there we have our envelopes sewed in. Okay, open it up. So because we use the 5 whole pamphlet stitch, they've all got a good secured base, and because I left it close, I've been able to secure all of the envelopes, whereas if I had moved my holes to here, I wouldn't have caught all of the envelopes. That one wouldn't have been caught. So just a little thing to keep in mind. The next part is creating journal cards and tags, and we start to decorate. Have a great day, everybody.